Greg Heffley. He's the star of one of the most recognizable children's book series, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, as he retells events taking place during his middle school years. The books are best known for being funny, and they definitely are, but underlying everything is a manipulative and a dislikable main character. It's honestly pretty interesting to dive deeper into the mind of Greg Heffley and seeing how different he is from typical kids' books. You're usually supposed to look up to a fictional character, or at least empathize with what they're going through, but author Jeff Kinney decided to take a bit of a different turn and show us someone who may very well be a sociopath. Even if you don't completely buy the Greg sociopath theory, at least we can all agree he's just a bad person. For today's video, we're going all the way back to the very first book, back to where it all began. I'm not going to be focusing on the live action movie adaptation because it's not completely canon, but I can still use some clips from it. Come on, the manga is where it's at, and that's more canon. By the way, if more people want to see an analysis of the other books in the Wimpy Kid series, then let me know. During the first few pages when we're introduced to the Wimpy Kid Greg Heffley, it's clear to see his distorted mindset. He immediately assures the reader that he's gonna be super famous one day, and he'll probably want this diary journal to give to fans. We don't even get a few pages in, and it's already easy to see his narcissism. After these few pages, we're basically introduced to the characters and world of Wimpy Kid, all seen through Greg's eyes. It's important to realize that because this is his journal, he's writing things seen through his perspective. He gets pretty personal with his own opinions and makes that clear, but we should know that he'll almost always make himself out to be the good guy. Going into these books, it's definitely worth noting that we're not looking at the most reliable narrator out there. One of the clearest ways in seeing how Greg truly thinks is when he's around his best friend Rowley Jefferson. Rowley has the most pure soul and doesn't usually pick up on manipulative signs, so Greg uses that to his advantage. When we first meet Rowley, Greg literally writes, "It's been great having him around, mostly because I get to use all the tricks Roderick pulls on me." We know Greg's a bully, but he uses the carefree, innocent Rowley as a perfect example of someone to pick on. During winter, Greg came up with this apparently fun game that would kill some time. It was pretty simple. One guy rides down the hill and the other guy tries to knock him off with a football. While the concept already sounds like it's less a game and more mindless torture, what's even worse is that Greg never decides to take the role of the rider. Instead, he has Rowley start off on the bike so Greg can throw the football. Now, Rowley doesn't see what's really going on here. He asks if his best friend wants to turn on the bike, but Greg declines. When this game eventually leads to Rowley with a broken arm, Greg becomes jealous when all the girls surround him. This is when some of his true nature is revealed in the school. He's jealous of anyone who's receiving more attention than him. Remember, he considers himself high above everyone else given his constant claims of becoming famous one day, so it's not surprising to see him always try and seek approval from other students. When we're talking more about Greg and Rowley's relationship, one of the worst experiences was the whole safety patrol situation. Basically, they signed up to help kindergarteners walk home. Greg terrorized them one time and a bystander thought it was Rowley, yet Greg never admitted that it was really him, letting his friends take all the blame. Rowley lost the safety patrol position, and this eventually led to their friendship broken. If that wasn't enough, here's what he says after they've both been ex-friends for a month. "I'm glad I can just do whatever I want without having to worry about carrying all that dead weight around." Yes, he calls Rowley, who's supposed to be his best friend, dead weight. He doesn't view others as real people with wants and needs like him, but instead whenever they don't comply to what he wants, he just straight up says they're dead weight. Aside from this manipulative friend relationship, it's easy to tell that Greg just likes passing any of his problems to someone else, and even then he feels no shame. An example comes from the school play performance when Manny yells out "Bubby," everyone hears it, and if Greg acknowledges that it's him, then he'll be super embarrassed. That's why he deflects this embarrassment to another student, Archie Kelly. The next day in school, here's what he wrote. "I saw Archie Kelly getting hassled in the hallway after 5th period today, so it looks like I can finally start to breathe a little easier." See, no regret for passing his problems to someone else. No second thoughts to maybe help Archie. This is just the type of horrible person Greg is. This video is only scratching the surface into Greg Heffley as a character, and more of the explanations behind his actions become apparent as the series continues in his other journals. What's important about this first one is that it establishes him to be a dislikable, manipulative middle school student who sees himself as high and mighty, acting as a puppet master pulling the strings of other people to make situations turn out in his favor. His lack of empathy or shame is also apparent through these journal entries, showing that he's not as relatable as some people make him out to be. But hey, that's just a theory. A wimpy theory. Nah, but seriously, if you want to see this sort of video with the other journals in the series, let me know. Seeing how Greg views the world is actually pretty cool, just because it's so different than what we expect from a typical kids book. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.